What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Welcome to the Work Grift. I am Canon Hotep. I appreciate you guys coming to hang out with us right now. I'm sorry I'm late. You know, I got some stuff that was going on. Plus, Jay had a boomer tech moment. Anyway, I'm happy you guys was in here. Who we got? I see, let's see, we got Protocol in the building. He says, peace, family. Yeah, it's on and popping in this thing. That's what I'm talking about. We got Sauce the Prophets at Hotep. What's up? We got Future Conflict in the building. Says, glad to see I'm not the only one who's late and gay. Catch is Kevin in the building. Says, gang and gang. I hear that. Who else we got? We got Jimmy Dawson in the building. We got I Love Ketchup. What's the deal? I'm sure more people will come funneling in as the word gets out. You know how YouTube do. Joe Beard in the building said, Hotep, appreciate you. Anyway, so I went to go see
Mario Brothers
last night. Yeah, I went to go see Super Mario last night, right? Hey, one in the chat, make sure the music ain't too loud, is it? Just want to make sure. One in the chat, make sure the music ain't too loud. It don't sound too loud on your end, do it, Jay?
a little. I mean, slightly on mine because I don't know if it could be the chat system. I don't know what the chat. I don't know about what the chat says.
Yeah, let's see what the chat say real quick. They, you know how they do. They'll let me know. Anyway, so I went to see Super Mario last night, right?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say, yeah, no spoilers, man. You ain't gonna get no spoilers, man. Come on. I would have said spoiler alert. So turn it down a little bit. All right, cool. Let me turn it down a little bit. There we go. All right. Okay. Anyway, so look, I'm gonna say it like this. I wasn't disappointed in Super Mario, right? I went into it thinking like, all right, like just I was waiting for all of the agenda. I was waiting for all of that stuff. And I was pleasantly surprised that there was no real agenda in Super Mario.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, there was a couple of things that I ain't gonna say it was a gripe. There was a couple of things that I saw that they did that it wasn't a big deal, but it's like, come on. Like, it's obvious. You guys will see it if you go see it.
Yeah.
But other than that, I wasn't disappointed in Super Mario. It was fun. It was funny. It had a good soundtrack. And it was a fun movie, and it didn't have any of that. It didn't have any real nonsense in it, right? They wasn't targeting kids with no shit, at least not that I've seen. You know what I mean?
Mario didn't change his M on his hat to a BLM symbol all of a sudden.
Right. Put an X on there. Put an X on there.
X on there. Put his fist up in the air. We like, what in the world is this nonsense?
Cisgender Mario. Put an N on there for non-binary.
Oh,
no, but it was a good movie, right? The premise and the plot was pretty good.
Yeah.
It was a lot of references to Nintendo. It was a lot of references to Super Mario the game, Super Mario 2, and there was actually all three Super Marios. There was a lot of references to those and TV show.
Yeah.
Right. Remember the TV show from back in like the early 90s, late 80s?
Yeah, with Lou Ferrigno. What's it? No, it was Lou, whatever his name is, Lou Spalding or something like that, right?
Right. You know what I mean? Like it was. No, with no trans flag on Rainbow Road, but Rainbow Road was dope. Yo, it's a good movie, yo. I'm gonna say that. I gave it an 8 out of 10. And the reason why I gave it an 8 out of 10 is because, for one, there's always room for improvement, right? With a lot of stuff. Two, there was a couple of things I was like, come on, guys. Y'all couldn't just stick with some of the canon of Super Mario, you know what I mean? You know, but at the same time, it was great. The references was awesome. I didn't have a problem with Chris Pratt not speaking Italian, right? They still made some references to like, it's me, Mario. You know, they did that sometimes, but it was, you know, as much as Seth Rogen is a dickhead and a crybaby, he did a fantastic job as Donkey Kong. You know what I mean? Yeah. Toad was pretty cool in there. They made fucking Princess Peach. They made it seem like she was goddamn Charlie's Angels ninja. But you know, it was a great movie. And I think, and it was great for kids, right? It wasn't nothing crazy in there where like, you know, it's like, hey, kids shouldn't see this or this shouldn't be exposed to kids. No, there were little kids in there, like 3, 4, 6 years old, loving it. My sons, I mean, I went with my kids, or my son and my nephew. They were on the edge of their seats, cracking up, bro.
I know the IMAX here is sold out.
Yeah, we went to see it in IMAX.
They have a bunch of showings for. Did you see the 3D? There's a 3D version and there's another version.
I wouldn't mind seeing it again in 3D, but my kids, for some reason, they don't like going to see 3D. You know what I mean? Come on, Emmanuel. I'm sure it's better than Moonfall. Get out of here, yo. Leave me alone with that. I stand by it. Moonfall was a good movie. Also saw John Wick on Sunday. John Wick, bro, that was just 3 hours of straight action. John Wick was action from the time it started to the time it ended. John Wick was a fantastic movie. Y'all need to go see John Wick. Yeah, I need to go see.
Did you see the Brothers. Did you see the Onions movie review of John Wick?
No.
Oh, it was good. It was the man came on there and he said, "I went to see John Wick, and let me tell you, he does not follow the principles of Christ." And he starts breaking down all this stuff about how violence begots violence. Does not the Lord say, "Thou shalt not judge"? And in this scene, we see John Wick judging another person. Oh, it was funny as heck. It was like a strong Roman Catholic perspective over John Wick. That's cool.
Of course.
Hilarious.
Of course. You know, back in the day, the Catholics had control over what you could see and what you couldn't see in cinema.
Yeah. The code of ethics and stuff like that.
Yeah, all through the Catholics.
Yeah, I don't think this is what I think on it too. I think we should have that set up though. Like but this way. This is how I see it though. Like, not like forced that everything has to be under it, right? Not everything has to be under an umbrella. But if one side wants to have like their own fan edited version of a movie or a TV show, they should be able to go through that. You should be able to turn on a channel where it's like, oh, this is going to be safe for the kids to watch the whole time. They're not going to be any, gruesome, violent scenes happening in this or anything like that. Because nowadays, when the kids is on the YouTube and stuff like that, what do they get? Horror ads. They get rappers randomly popping up with their trailers, and they got women twerking that are practically naked and doing all kind of weird, crazy stuff while he's trying to watch his Coco Melon. And I'm like, oh, I got to click the little thing again. I got to go back in here to the settings. I got to click delete this and all that stuff. They make it rough. Right. And they know they're doing it on purpose because they pay the advertiser to get those eyeballs. And what eyeballs are they concentrating on right now? Little kids. They're targeting children. Exactly. The whole time they said we're not coming for the kids. And what are they doing? Coming for the kids. And talk about this craziness. Have you seen The Mandalorian?
I haven't watched it since Gina Carano got kicked off.
Season 3 is trash. Okay, so it started off okay, right? It started off okay, but the writing, the acting, and the pacing, the plotting, the storyline, like where is the story going? Like it's all here, there, and everywhere. It's nowhere following just the Mandalorian and Baby Yoda anymore, little Grogu. Now they got Lizzo. Now they got Jack Black in the series. Do you hear me? Lizzo and Jack Black and Christopher Lloyd are now in this Mandalorian.
Christopher Lloyd?
Yes, and stinking it up.
Oh my God. Of course they do. Of course they gotta.
Lizzo, you gotta watch it. You'll be thinking that you're watching a Saturday Night Live parody.
Jack Black though, you know what I mean?
He doesn't belong in the Mandalorian. Looking at him, he's just Jack Black in a Star Wars movie. That's all you see.
Lord.
You can't separate it. He's not. Jeez. He's being himself. You can't separate it. He doesn't belong in the Star Wars universe.
Joe Beer says one of the funniest things South Park did with the Stick of Truth was made Canada 8 or 16-bit graphics. I was crying laughing. Sauce says, I don't know how he survived the shit he survived, bro. He said you told him his back or some protruding from the wall and still got up. John Wick, Captain America, if he killed. Bro, I agree. I was watching the movie, but you got to suspend all that stuff. I'm watching John Wick. It was some shit that I'm like, yo, there's no way he should be walking away from that, right? I guess it goes to the lore of John Wick being a man of pure will, right? Being a man of pure will and willing to get it done, by any means necessary. Pure will and focus. right? Because that's the only thing that can, like, for him to keep getting up. You know what I mean? Like, he had to have internal bleeding. It had to have been so much shit going on inside of his body when it was all said and done. You know what I mean? But he was just on that mission. But speaking of that, it looked like they got some shit coming out called Sisu. Did you see the preview for that?
No, what's that?
Sisu was like John Wick from like 1914, allegedly. Some dude found like from the preview, some dude found like a big ass rock full of like a rock of like pure gold, right? Like a mountain. And I guess he wanted to go find the bankers or whatever, but he had to go on he had to get a horseback to go to the nearest whatever. And I guess like some Germans roll up on him and they got him down, like they about to kill him. And next thing he knows, this motherfucker just take out the whole platoon of Germans by himself. And I'm like, oh shit. Yeah, Sauce, it's a spinoff joint. Steph said John Wick was defying reality. He definitely was. Sisu looked good, y'all. Sisu looked good. I'm willing to go see it and give it a shot. Because it's from the creator of John Wick. The people that created John Wick and directed John Wick is doing this movie Sisu. So I want to check it out. It's going to be interesting, I think. You know what I mean? If it's lame, it's lame. I just like a good mindless action movie sometimes. You know what I mean? Like John Wick is mindless action the whole way through. It's a long movie, but it's a good ass movie. Even my son was just sitting on the edge of his seat, just loving it every minute of that movie. He was shooting a bunch of guns I can't afford. You know what I mean? $5,000 handguns, $6,000 fucking semi-automatic shotguns with dragon's breath rounds loaded into it. You know what I mean? The
kind of stuff that those 18-year-olds been handling somehow magically, even though they work at Subway.
Exactly. You know, I can't afford no Terran Tactical upgraded fucking AR shotgun. I can't afford no Pit Viper. I would love a Pit Viper. That Pit Viper $7,000. I can't afford no Pit Viper. I'll build me something like it. But I can't afford no fucking $7,000 2011. You know what I mean? Steph said he thinks John Wick 3 was better. I don't know. I like this one, man. For it to be like, I guess, I don't know if this is the conclusion to John Wick or what, but it was fucking fantastic in my opinion. But
I really like the first one.
Oh, the first one was awesome. Second one was all of them were great in my opinion. But back to Super Mario, I think Super Mario is a great movie for all ages. You know, as far as for nostalgia, you know, for us, you know, grown-ups, and for the kids who are just starting to get into Super Mario, because you know they still got Mario Kart on like the what's it called, what's the shit the kids play now, the Switch and all that other stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
the emulators and stuff like that. Kids love Super Mario, and
classic, timeless.
It's timeless
games. The first one is timeless. I feel like
it is. It's very much so.
Like even
I love playing the first Super Mario.
The little kids today still play it. I put it on and they're like, "Oh, let's go try that one," and jumping around. And it's like from what is it, 1984, 1985?
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a cool little thing. I'm glad that they put it out right instead of making it all crazy like the Mandalorian is all crazy right now.
They didn't make it crazy, thank God. Anyway, hey yo, so I was scrolling through Instagram, right? Excuse me. I'm scrolling through Instagram and they show this doll baby, right? Or like I thought it was like a My Buddy doll. You know, like they got those like Journey girls and all that other shit.
Was this a Megan? Was this a Megan Chucky thing you was looking at?
No. So you know how they got like I don't know, kind of like remind me of My Buddy. So allegedly or apparently in let me fix this. There we go. So apparently in Australia, they have a line of dolls in Kmart that, you know, they're kind of like, I guess they're like Cabbage Patch dolls / My Buddies or whatever, or Baby Alives, I don't know. They had one where they're trying to be inclusive, Jay. Are you ready to see this inclusive doll baby?
Not really, go ahead.
I'm gonna just say it like this, if y'all laugh, y'all going to hell. Because I ain't gonna lie, when I first seen it, I kind of laughed my ass off. And I was like, all right, maybe I shouldn't laugh at this. But it just was funny. Here you go, y'all ready? Boom. Oh, damn it. Come on, there we go. Do you see this, Jay?
Oh, okay, I see where they went.
Oh my gosh, bro. So, baby Charlie with Down syndrome is all the rage in Australia.
In Australia?
So, in Australia, in a Kmart in Australia, it's all the rage. So somebody had on Instagram like, yo, Kmart ain't got no chill. Kmart in Australia ain't got no chill. And the funny part is, right, it's not the fact that they made a Down syndrome doll baby, right? Right? They try to be inclusive and they want to include everybody. It's not the fact they made a Down syndrome doll baby. The funny part is that the doll baby don't look like he got Down syndrome. The doll baby look like he done smoked 10 blunts. The doll baby like the dude from Half Baked. And then they were so lazy that they named they have a girl version. They didn't even bother to change the name. Baby Charlie with Down syndrome is also a girl version. Now I don't know if this is supposed to support the LGBTQ, the transgender, but I looked at this shit, bro, and I cried because I'm like, yo, I'm laughing my ass off. I'm like, this is what y'all consider. This is what y'all think a Downs baby look like. I'm like, come on, man. That baby like he smoked all the weed. That baby look high as hell. I dare say that baby look a bit Asian, but I wouldn't say Downs. But apparently, that shit had me crying, yo. Emmanuel said they need their ass beat. He said they need their ass whooped. He said they need their ass whooped. Star said, bro, why they hands like that? Bro, I laughed. When I say I laughed, bro, I laughed. I said, y'all really, is that what a kid with Downs look like for y'all? That looked like y'all took a mold of an Asian doll baby and sold it as a Down syndrome baby. Joe Beard, you ain't right. He gonna say how strong are the babies. Oh my gosh, bro. When I seen that, I just cried. It just made me laugh so hard because that don't look like a kid with Down syndrome. That looks like that kid smoked a bowl before you sold it to some kid.
Remember that show Life Goes On with Corky?
Yeah.
I wonder what a Corky doll would look like if they had made one.
If they made a Corky doll?
Yeah, like remember they had the Family Matters doll? They had the Urkel doll.
Yeah, they had the
I got the Urkel doll. Matter of fact.
You do?
Yeah.
The Urkel doll look just like Urkel doll.
I'm gonna have to throw them on.
Back in the day, they took their time. They took their time on stuff like that. You know what I mean? Now they just use one mold for everything. You know what I mean? They got lazy with it. Like back in the day, the Urkel doll looked like Steve Urkel. Now it's just they took an Asian kid, maybe puffed his eyes out a little more, like he missed a few here's of sleep, and here's your Down syndrome kid. Like that's crazy to me. I just laughed. Emmanuel Presley, right? They need their ass beat for that. Oh shit, we got Just Josh in the building with the $5 super chat. I appreciate you, bro. If I had the Don DeMarco, I'll give it to you right now. If y'all ain't following Just Josh, man, make sure y'all give him a subscribe. Just Josh be kicking all that proper knowledge out. And if he ain't got it, he got people that he know that got it. Shout out to Just Josh. We're going to get him on the show soon. Because I need him to give all of us a TED Talk on what we need to do just in case shit go down. You know what I mean? Because right now, it ain't looking too good, Jay. So you got the BRICS system right now. They trying to get it. So the BRICS countries, they ready to do away with the dollar, bro.
Yeah.
They ready to do away with the dollar. All right.
That's their team, right? That's the team. We're team Illuminati over here, and there's team whatever over there, right? They got their own little squad. Their squad is deep. They got Russia, China, who is it? Brazil, Argentina, Iran.
Russia, China. Yeah,
that's
go ahead.
5 right there.
So Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa.
And the messed up thing with India too is they're supposed to be non-biased, but they seem like they're leaning more towards Russia and China as time has been going on, right? They're supposed to be impartial to everything, really. Is what they've been saying all along. And right now they look like they're leaning towards Russia and China's team. And that's a
Joe Bear said you got the Urkel glasses. He says Urkel's glasses removable. You may have the Steven doll too.
Oh no, Stefan.
Yeah, Stefan. Oh yeah, Stefan.
Remember he come through and be like, "Yo, what's up, girl? It's Stefan." And they was
like
that.
Like back in the day, we couldn't see that they had clothes hanging up in the little porta potty that he was supposed to be turning the stuff on in.
Oh yeah, he go in there, you switch out, come back out.
Yeah.
No, what's up, girl? Me, Stefan. Woo.
Yo, fuck that. Laura wouldn't have got no play after that shit. Like, bitch, you like me when I'm standing up straight and I ain't got no glasses on? Get out my face. Anyway, so Saw said BRICS getting rid of the dollar like it's the Galactic Empire turning into the First Order, Final Order. With the Star Wars reference. But that's the thing.
Your
right?
money's no good here. And when we pull out them dollar bills, them greenbacks, your money's no good here. Your money's no good.
You know what's funny? Because when it happened, it reminded me of this. So ODD TV did a predictive programming video, and he had this scene from G.I. Joe, and they paid for some shit and they rolled out, and the storekeeper ran outside. He's like, "What is this? This is American dollars. It's worth nothing." As they rolled down the street, you know what I mean? But that's what it made me remind me of. Now you got Kenya, right? So let's check this out real quick. So this is one of the articles I was looking at. It says Brazil, China ditched U.S. dollar for trade payments. They favor the yuan, right? Then you got Russia talks up prospects of BRICS countries developing new currency. This shit is all that's in the news that nobody's paying attention to, right? Then you had this coming out of Kenya. So, hold on, wait a minute. This is it right here. That's not it. Hold on. This is it right here. So, in Kenya, right, the president of Kenya said this. He says, "I'm giving you free advice that those of you who are holding dollars, you certainly might not go into losses, or you certainly might go into losses. You better do what you must do because this market is going to be different in a couple of weeks." And people's like, "Well, he's not saying that the dollar is going to crash." No, he's not saying that the dollar is going to crash. What he's saying is that his country is moving away from the dollar. See, that's the thing people don't understand. No, he's not directly saying that the dollar is going to crash. But what he's saying is when you got BRICS and you got all these other countries starting to kind of go the way with BRICS, they're talking about moving away from the dollar. If all these countries move away from the dollar as the reserve currency, right, as the petrodollar, right?
Yeah, they were saying that they were going to.
Where's that leave the dollar?
Nowhere. They said they were going to put the back their money with minerals, crypto, minerals, and gold. That's what they said on theirs because the land. Remember, China's been taking over parts of Africa, and you know what they're trying to get? They're trying to get a hold of all of Africa to join that part of the union. They got us beat hands down because we're over here worried about pronouns. We're focused on some nonsense, drag time story hour and all this other nonsense while they whooping our tails economically.
Exactly.
We're gonna be left in the dust.
Steph says the dollar going down, Fed now going up July 1st. He right. They already putting in. So
the last ditch effort.
It is a last ditch effort. And the Fed now.
The other countries got to speak.
20. Yep. What was it? Fed now, ISO 20. What happened? Something happened on was it April 3rd of this year? April, like a week ago, or this week. Some shit went down with Fed now where they started implementing the first phases of it. You know what I mean? But people don't understand, right? With Fed now, this is just central bank digital currency. And what this is social credit, dog.
Yeah.
Right? Bill Cooper, he warned us about this. Bill Cooper said they're going to get rid of your physical money, right?
Yeah. That one world order currency. Yeah. That's what we headed to.
For a hypothetical dollar.
Yeah.
A hypothetical bill, which is the central bank digital currency. Right? The thing about it is that the minute you do something that the government don't like, how easy is it for them to hit that switch and turn off your money? They already doing it in China. They've been doing it in China since like 2013. China's been damn near cashless for forever. Same thing with India. I think India was 2016 when they went almost completely cashless. Yeah. But guess what happened to India when they went completely cashless? Their economy started to collapse. They collapsed their economy in order to go cashless like that. Now we're starting to see that same playbook roll out over here in America. You know what I mean? And guys, you don't understand, right? The minute you got the CBDC, the minute you got the central bank digital currency, the money ain't free, right? The money ain't free no more. You can kiss a lot of shit goodbye. Generational wealth, kiss that shit goodbye. right? Because they apparently they talk about putting limits on how long you can hold money, right? And how easy is it for them to do that? Think about it, right? It's as simple as thinking about like my Audible credits, right? I pay $14 a month for Audible, right? Because I like to listen to books while I work. But guess what? Guess what happens if I keep building up Audible credits, Jay? Because maybe I don't buy books fast enough.
Does it go away?
Audible deletes a credit every month after a certain amount. So imagine that with cryptocurrency. Oh, you can't hold over $10,000 in crypto. If you do, we're going to deduct $1,000 every month.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see it. Right. No, I see it. This was what they were talking about, like when you're playing a video game and it only goes to 999 on your max power. Where's the 1,000? They're gonna keep cutting it off, keep going down and down and down. You're gonna say, "Where's my power credits I saved up?" They're gone. They deleting them digitally and keeping them in their own storage. And also, you say about that too. Think about how they're gonna say that it's data encryption is storage cost and all that stuff like that for it. They're gonna tack that into it.
Yep. Stuff says government infiltration into your private life, legal tender to pay debts, public and private, is done. Facts. Cassius can say, yep, my social credit score fuck when they find my music. That's the thing, right? And that's what they're trying to do. They want to control people. And Bill Cooper said this, guys, go get Behold a Pale Horse. Get the real Behold a Pale Horse. Don't look for the shit on Audible. Don't look for the shit on YouTube. You got to find the actual book, right? He said that. He said the way you control people is through fear and through debt. They call it quiet weapons for silent wars. That's what they call it. And that's what they're doing right now, and they're implementing it. And it's inevitable, guys. The question is, it's not how do you get rid of it, it's how do you move in the midst of it. That's what we got to figure out. You know what I mean? Because like I said, you want to go buy a house? Oh, okay, you got the capital? Okay, cool. But they got you labeled as a domestic terrorist because you had said some shit on online about Biden or Harris or whatever. You know what I mean? Like that's where we're at now. That's where we're at, and this shit is sad.
It's a two-way street, and that's what these proponents of all these draconian measures aren't getting either, because we've been saying it's a two-way street. Okay, right now you got Joe Nicholslick in office, right? Oh, and you're applauding these powers that be. You're applauding the feds and the police and all that. Now, when the next person comes along that doesn't share the same views that you do, what if Ron DeSantis goes nuclear on you characters, right? What if he comes down the pipeline and says, "Oh, you said the wrong thing. That's 4 years in a re-education camp for your tail."
Right.
Now, I'm not saying he would. I'm not saying he would. But we're going to get to that point where we do have people that have, because we're putting this absolute power into motion. It's slippery slope that we're already driving that car right off that cliff, because we kept on giving them an inch and they took a mile, and we sat back and we did nothing. So what's going to happen next? With this dollar collapse, we're going to see social credit. With social credit, we're going to see the type of tyrannical promises that have been put in place through all these predictive programming, through all these things that we've been lectured over these years. It's not just George Orwell telling us, but everybody and his brother telling us and warning us this is coming down the pipeline, and now we're staring it in the face.
Yep, exactly.
So we're here.
Exactly. Think about it,
it's a two-way
right? Street. That's why they're gonna be praying for white supremacy. But that's the thing, right? So, like, think about it, right? And then you look at it with the 15-minute cities, right? So imagine you trying to buy a house. They're not going to allow you to buy that house out in the suburbs, out in the rural area, right? My grandfather said it all the time, right? And you think it was a joke, which it was a joke, but it was true. It was true. He said, you better get your land while you can, because they ain't making no more. You know what I mean? Like, and you see that, BlackRock, right? Which we're going to touch on in a minute, but you see BlackRock, you see Bill Gates buying up all this land, this farmland, right? With the advent of the 15-minute city, when you go to buy your house, right, under this new central bank digital currency, under this new one world currency, guess what they're not going to allow you to do? They're not going to allow you to go buy in the woods. They ain't going to allow you to go buy that 10-acre property where you're going to build your house. They want you to buy your house in that 15-minute city. And if you don't buy your 15-minute city condo, they're not going to approve your loan. That's where they want you at. That's how it's easy to corral people when it's time to corral people.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, like if you ain't got your land now, you already see how, the economy is with inflation and shit like that. People trying to buy, 10 acres, and it's like, oh yeah, this 10 acres that might have been like $100,000, right? Now this same 10 acres is like $1.5 million.
You're right though, and then people are going to fall for it, hook, line, and sinker, because what do they see happening? The crime. Oh, you want to live in a crime-free zone? Come to this 15-minute city. Come to this 15-minute city where it's patrolled constantly. But now you don't understand it. Now you're under a tyrannical force that's not going to let you get outside of it either. You're locked in. It's going to be just like what they do with when a criminal gets a hold of an elderly person, right? Mm-hmm. And they come in and they say, I'm here to help you. But no, they're here to help themselves. When they grab a hold of one of those people, when they get a hold of their bank accounts and everything else, and they're supposed to be the home health care person, but they're inside their bank account, they're inside their savings, they're inside their savings account, they're inside their house. They are putting the name of the house into their name. They're putting the name of that car into their name because that person has dementia. They're gonna treat the same. They're gonna treat you just like that when they get you inside that 15-minute zone. You're not gonna be getting out of there. And where you think your money is gonna be going? It's gonna be going to whoever runs that 15-minute city zone. That's who it's gonna be going to.
Your salary gonna turn into an allowance.
That's facts. And people don't realize that, but they're gonna say, under the guise of safety and security, I'm gonna move me and my family into your 15-minute zone city. And you look at them; they got walls, they got barricades, they got barbed wire, they got guards standing over it. That's not to protect you; that's to keep you in. But you're not understanding it; you're not seeing it because they got you with the okie doke. What they've been saying, like Scott Adams coming through, stay away from them, right? They're gonna make it. It's gonna be segregated. You think it's not going to be segregated? They're going to be segregating them out like that. You're going to be sitting in there thinking that you're safe and protected, and lo and behold, you're trapped in, and they won't let you out. I think that's the same message that they were saying in that movie, THX 1138. He had to climb over a wall. He had to go through a tunnel and climb over a wall to get out of there. They had the same story in that movie, Logan's Run. He was stuck inside of a dome, and he couldn't get outside of it. He was stuck in it. It was like a mall.
Escape from New York.
Right. You're gonna be stuck.
The Running Man. There's so many movies like that.
You think you're seeing freedom? You're gonna be enslaved in that system. You're gonna be trapped in.
Because this is how they're gonna get you. Like, hey guys, it's so convenient. What's up, JR Bell? It's so convenient. It's so convenient, guys. Look, you got all the shopping here. Like, look behind me, right? This is Baltimore City behind me. Right? This is Baltimore City behind me. Who wouldn't want to have like some nice waterfront property like this right here, right? You know what I mean? Condos over there, shit like that. You lived somewhere nice, right? Meanwhile, what you did was you did their job for them. You know what I mean? You just corralled yourself. You put yourself in one of their, what you call it, Emmanuel? One of the Joe Biden zones.
Right.
Right?
What they forget about?
With the barbed wire facing in instead of out.
They forgot about the Berlin Wall. What were people doing? They were trying to get to their grannies, their aunties, their brother, and their sister that was stuck on the other side of the wall, and they wouldn't let them. They're going to use the next pandemic as an excuse that you can't come see your grandma, you can't come see your aunt, your brother, or your sister because they live in one of those other cities that's been sectioned off. And that city has the bug, whatever that bug is going to be.
And how easy it's going to keep y'all asses right there. I was reading a book, right? Or listening to a book. It's a really good book. I'll post it one day. I can't remember what it's actually called. It's like a year or two ago. I'll be driving and I'll be listening to it. So, the collapse of civilization happens, right? EMP goes off and all that other shit, right? EMP goes off, and the guy was trying to get home. He gets home and he lives in the woods, right? He was a prepper. It was like a community, but it wasn't. So when he got home, he finds out that the government was coming and petitioning people, hey, won't you come move to these safe zones, and then you can come help us, rebuild or whatever, right? So people did. They went and they started, going into these safe zones and building, but then they started to find out that these safe zones wasn't really safe and there wasn't no freedom. Basically, they just volunteered to go into basically what would be a gulag or concentration camp. But then you had the folks that was like, no, I'm good right here where I'm at, right? I don't need y'all. You know what the government came back and did? And they did it by way of the post office. They sent the postmaster to deliver this message.
Oh.
So yeah, it's crazy. So then somebody who said he was the postmaster. So what happened was after they said no a few days later, magically these people's houses would catch on fire, or somebody would invade their home, and either A, scare the shit out of them to as though they went and they moved into those camps, or B, they fought back and they died again. They died trying to fight the government off. You know what I mean? Like, that's the type of shit that you don't want happening. That's the type of shit that I see coming if this shit goes the way they want it, right? And like I said before, for 4 straight years, Donnie T threw a wrench in their gears.
Right.
Donnie T threw a wrench in their gears, and they know they couldn't beat him again in 2024, because if he won again in 2024, they puts their plans off. You know what I mean? So that's why you see them doing the shit they're doing now, like, oh yeah, his proceedings aren't going to start until January 2024. And what happens in January 2024, yo? That's when the presidential primaries are, right? That's when people start running for election, or running for president and shit like that. They're trying to hamstring him so he can't run because they're afraid of that man, right? They're afraid of that man. They're afraid of him stopping with the progress that they're making, right? The dollar's not collapsing because Joe Biden is incompetent. The dollar's collapsing because that's all by design. That's what they want. That's what they want. Like I said, in order to have that great reset, you got to crash the system first. Yeah. And that's what they're doing. You've seen it in India in 2016. India crashed their system before they went one world with their digital currency. Yeah. China essentially crashed their system before they went with digital currency. China is the model for this shit. Yeah. Period. All this shit we seeing with these wars and people taking sides, that's all a fucking facade, dog. This is what they want. This is what they want, because that's how they control people. Fear and debt. Right. And when your dollars ain't dollars no more, and they make it illegal, just like Nixon made it illegal to have physical bars of gold, when they make it illegal for you to have physical currency in your hand, or they make it illegal for you to have cryptocurrency and a crypto wallet, anything other than the CBDC, when they do you like Amazon or Verizon, or like Audible, like I said, where you think you own your videos that you don't bought from Amazon, you think you own your books that you bought from Audible. The minute you cancel that Audible, subscription, the minute you cancel your Amazon subscription, the shit you thought you owned, that should go with them. You just lease it. Your house, your 15-minute city, your house in your 15-minute city that you thought you bought from the government, you just leasing that shit. The minute you decide to get out of their system, that's what you don't get to take with you. That house, you don't get to take that house. That's eminent domain now. That's government. That's what we were saying before when you heard Bernie Sanders and AOC talking about healthcare for all and housing for all and cars for all and all other shit. No, that just means that when you own nothing. You'll own nothing and be happy. That's what that means. The minute they don't like you, guess what? This shit gone. The minute you don't take that experimental drug that they're gonna be pushing next, guess what? You don't get no more health insurance. Ladies, women, they want, we want birth control should be the government should pay for our birth control. Okay, but then when the government start paying for your birth control and you don't like the birth control that they're giving you, guess what? They're gonna go kick rocks. We paying for it. You gonna take what we give you. Like that Black Mirror shit, that shit is here, man. 1984 is here. 2 + 2 is 5. And they're gonna make y'all think 2 + 2 is 5. Yeah. I just seen a video on Instagram where a girl was trying to justify, I don't know, I mean, everything's a social construct. 2 + 2 might be 5.
Yeah.
Like, what? You know what I mean? And that's what it is, guys. That's what
feelings. Was it feelings and emotions over logic and facts? That's what they're pushing.
Right, feelings over logic and facts. Exactly what they're doing. You know what I mean? Protocol says land patents. If you don't get your patent, it's nothing. What were they calling? I forgot what they call it. Jordan Maxwell said it was called something. Damn, I can't remember that shit now. He said you got to have a special, not loan, a special title. I forgot the name of the title. He said it was. You know what I mean?
For your land. You know what?
Yeah.
Talking about.
I forgot what it was called though. But Steph says facts. Already said the only reason that China and the U.S. are enemies is because they want to be the only one to rule over people. Facts, bro. You know what I mean? What you saying, Jay?
I was gonna say, about titles and deeds while you was on the subject and patents and everything. Patents, public domain. Mickey Mouse is entering the public domain. Did you hear about that?
What?
Mickey Mouse. Once a work of art, a work of film, once that certain thing hits 100 years, then that becomes public domain, right? It has to hit a certain time, then it becomes public domain. Then other people can start to use that. Steamboat Willie with Mickey Mouse is about to hit that mark, so it'll become public domain next year, I believe. So in 2024, Mickey Mouse will be public domain. Remember what happened with Winnie the Pooh? Winnie the Pooh is public domain, so that's why a horror filmmaker made Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey or something like that.
Oh, I did hear about that. Yeah.
I think the Grinch, will be public domain too eventually here, like Sherlock Holmes. Pretty soon, James Bond will be on that after a little while.
Damn.
So you're gonna see different companies and different groups using these different characters. Like I think Peter Pan's public domain, Snow White is public domain, Little Mermaid. These things that are old, then they can be used just like music, like Beethoven and Mozart and stuff like that. So once it reaches a certain time, it becomes public domain, and everyone can start to utilize it. So I guess we'll see Disney have a big fight on their hands because people are going to be putting Mickey Mouse on the shirt and selling it and stuff like that. It's going to be wild, but it has to be the Steamboat Willie version first because that was the first one that come out, and that's the one that's reaching that age. Then the next stuff is on the way too.
Jesus,
it's been around that long
Disney
though, huh?
Disney gonna figure out how to stop that shit.
Yeah, they're gonna
Hotep
figure out.
Goldstein said, "There's a solution to all these problems. Look back at the medieval time for answers." Hey, I hear that, but how many of these NPCs out here, how many of these normies out here are really ready for that? They're too comfortable. A lot of these people hold on real quick, y'all. A lot of these people what Killer Mike said, they're not ready for that. They don't know how to hunt. They don't know how to fish, right? I gotta wipe my screen off. They don't know how to hunt or fish. They don't know how to defend themselves. They don't know how to do none of that shit, right? So they gonna be sitting there waiting for the government to feed them. You know what I mean? Like little baby sheep. You know what I mean? They scared. They're not ready for that. You know what I mean? We got Brody McFarland. What's going on, Brody? What's going on? He said, see you in August. Yeah, definitely going to be there, bro. Definitely going to be there. Guys, if you ain't got it yet, go to hotepnation.com, hit the HotepCon tab. Get your tickets for HotepCon in Vegas, August 17th through the 20th. I'm going to be there. Hotep G is going to be there with Hotep. Hotep Nation family going to be there. We have a good time. This is the third annual HotepCon. Get your tickets. Use promo code Cannon to get 10% off of your tickets. That's promo code Cannon to get 10% off of your tickets, y'all. It's always a good time. Good food, good people. Good build sessions, man. We having fun out there. Come hang out with me and go to the range. We'll have some fun at Range 702 in Vegas, man. Make sure y'all get y'all tickets, y'all. Protocol says, oh yeah, that's what it's called, Protocol. The allodial title. That's what it's called. He said, if you don't got an allodial title, you don't own shit. That was George Maxwell. You know what I mean? I wouldn't mind a HotepCon here in Baltimore, yo. You know what I mean? But the Ahern Hotel, man. Brody and them guys treat us good. They treat us real good out there, yo. It's fantastic. I remember the very first HotepCon, the Ahern wasn't even open yet to the public. We had to run in the joint, yo. They gave us the red carpet treatment. They continue to give us the red carpet treatment now. It's just cool. Off the strip. Yeah, it's just off the strip. It ain't no casino in there, so you got to worry about all of that noise. They got a great cafe. They got great restaurants in there. It's chill. And if you want to go to the casinos and lose your money, they right down the street. I'm
trying to come up.
Vegas flooded last year.
Yeah.
Guess who ain't see it or ain't flood? The Ahern. Ain't flood. Right? I wake up the next morning and I see on the news that parts of the strip flooded. Ahern had no problem.
No problems. Just good. Y'all remember that?
Yeah, I mean, shout out to the Ahern out there, man.
I'll see. I mean, hopefully I'll be able to.
Yeah, you gotta come check it out, bro. You gotta come check it out. Like I said, guys.
I think I will. I think I will be able to, unless anything come up.
Right. Like I said,
I'm gonna use promo code Cannon.
There you go. Promo code Cannon. Get your ticket. Anyway, so the last story I got, right, and this goes to the same thing, right? So I was looking up the Paris shit, right? I'm like, what the fuck is going on in Paris? Matter of fact, I sent you that video. Can you bring that video up?
No, I can't because when I shut everything down, I shut it all down when we let's see. Let me see if I can without it all freezing up. We'll find out.
All right. Let me know. If not, I'm gonna just talk it anyway. So I had to look into Paris, but I didn't really understand what the hell was going on in Paris. I saw that the protesters took over BlackRock. They ran up in BlackRock Holdings. I'm like, oh shit, right? So come to find out, they wilding because Macron just straight did some underhanded shit, and he made the retirement age from 62 to 64, and the people ain't having it, and they pissed. You know what I mean? Now they saying they doing it because if they don't, then I guess their version of Social Security goes by the wayside. You know what I mean? I would argue and say Social Security did anyway, right? You know what I mean? So I was looking into it, right? And I was like, I could have swore that we heard, something about it, right? As far as here in America. Now, here we go right here. Where is it at? Did I get it? Where's it at? Shit, I don't see it. Oh no, I got it. Here we go. So I'm gonna tee this up. It says what the raising the retirement age to 70 would mean for you. Now, this one is talking about so DeSantis, he's backing raising the retirement age from apparently it's 67 here in America to 70 years old. Right? Now, you can do an early retirement age of 22 here in America, but he's talking about raising the retirement age to 70 because they're saying that the Social Security won't have any money left come 2033. Now, I would argue to say that the name Social Security, social being the operative word, would have told you that it was eventually going to fail. You know what I mean? Because what Social Security needs, people to pay into the system. And when you don't got people working, right? Right? The burden falls on the people that's working. At one point, Social Security had 6 people paying on one person's pension. Now it's half. It's not even half that. It's probably maybe 2 people paying on one person's pension now, or 1 person paying on one person's pension. Right? So this is what the article says. Let me see. 1 second. Let me see.
I got that video over here on the Twitter side.
Oh, you do got it? All right,
Yeah,
go play that real quick.
How do I
Oh shit. I forgot what you're supposed to do.
Okay.
Go to share. You see the share button?
Oh, excuse me. No, not yet. Where's the share button? Where is the share button? I don't see no share button.
You don't got no share button on your StreamYard at the bottom?
I don't see it.
All right, never mind. Don't worry about it. So it's saying the House has approved several new laws impacting employer-sponsored 401k plans, but still hasn't addressed Social Security, which the government says will run out of money by 2020. Thing is done. People are living longer and drawing benefits longer than anticipated. The laws was enacted in 1935 when the average U.S. lifespan was 61. God damn, the average U.S. lifespan was 60 today for men and 65 for women. Male born today is live until 74 and a half, and a lady and a female until 80. So what they're trying to say is let's raise the retirement age to 70 because more than likely you're gonna be dead in the next 3 years anyway. That's fucked up. And we take all your money and put it somewhere else. A proposal by Bob bipartisan group of U.S. senators led by Maine Independent Angus King and Republican capacity of Louisiana, among several efforts to overhaul Social Security. It would, among other things, increase the age for receiving full benefits to 70. That is expected to face stiff opposition in Congress and among senior advocacy groups. Bro, that's fucked up. That's fucked up in my opinion. So I gotta, instead of me being able to collect my pension at 62, my full pension, right, my full retirement, I gotta wait till I'm 70, and then you guys are hoping that I die at 74, so I can't receive my full pension.
Yeah.
Like I said, you know, Ron DeSantis is he's for that shit, and I don't think that's a good idea. Now I get it, business wise.
The money's out, I guess, right?
Man,
U.S. is broke. We not seeing it, I guess. You and me not seeing it.
We ain't seeing shit. Gerald Bell says a lot of seniors don't have. He says a lot of seniors don't have enough to retire now. That's right. Emmanuel says, I bet Joe Biden gets a check, a Social Security check. Of course. Yeah, a lot of baby boomers are still working. Exactly, Steph. Social Security is a contradiction because you need the capitalist economy to keep Social Security afloat. Right? That's what they're relying on. You know what I mean? Emmanuel says he just want to see Macron get hit with a baguette. Is that too much to ask for? Remember when the dude smacked him? I did a video on that a couple years ago. Dude smacked shit out. Well, he didn't smack the shit out of him. He kind of gave him like this little sissy smack across his face. Like he lured him to get a handshake and then he smacked shit out of Macron. That shit was crazy. But Macron has been an unpopular president in France. I don't even understand how he got reelected. I don't even understand how he got reelected. You know what I mean? Like, he's going and now you got all this shit. I think they said they had over 19 million protesters in France right now. They got over 19 million protesters in France right now. Everybody's pissed. That's why I'm like, how did he even get reelected? Who reelected him? It don't even make sense to me. You know what I mean? But that's definitely one thing I'm not for is them raising the age of retirement to 70. That's not fair. That's not fair, especially to the baby boomers that are ready to get out of the workforce and they can't. There's a lot of baby boomers that got out of the workforce and came right back to work. We're never going to see Social Security, Jay. Ever.
Nah.
Right? And it looks like 401ks might be going by the wayside soon if the CBDC shit really get jumping.
Is that right? What are they talking about with that? Are they gonna try to say that they have to be integrated with the new Fed now or whatever?
I'm thinking so. Emmanuel just said, he said with inflation, most 401ks are useless.
The 401ks are looking bad?
Yo, yeah, they looking bad, yo. And that's the thing. And it's just, I don't know. I don't know what you do. Like, I don't even know how you would move in the midst of this shit, right? But that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to work you to death, y'all. They trying to work you to death. They're trying to work you to death, hoping that you can draw your pension. And they can use that money to push it to somebody else. They want you to work from the cradle to the grave. From the rooter to the tooth. Well, at least until, from when you come, of age to work, which is what, 14? So from the age of 14 to the ripe old age of 74, when they think you're going to die, you just, and then you can't even enjoy the fruits of your labor. That's why they don't like these gig economies. They don't like this Uber and shit like that because, people in Uber, they ain't paying into no Social Security really like that. They contractors. You know what I mean? That's why they putting all these strict stipulations on business owners.
Did you talking about contractors? Did you tell your sister all that stuff about that?
Yeah.
I was showing you?
Yep, I sent her all that shit.
Okay, cool. Did she say anything about it or try to mess with it or? I
think she did. I ain't touch base with her on it after I sent her everything. I'll see if she had any luck with it. I know she said she was looking for a couple extra dollars. You know what I mean? You know, just to do, because she's sitting in the house anyway working. So she's like, fuck it, I might as well do a couple of jobs while I'm sitting in the house working. You know what I mean? Which makes sense. You know, get that money up. Like I said, guys, you gotta get them bands. You gotta get that bag. You know, by any means necessary in Joe Biden's economy. You know, especially if they're gonna have you working until you fucking in a wheelchair. You know, and then don't let Bill Gates have his way. Don't let Bill Gates have his way. You know what I mean? He trying to make it so that, you know, they give you the right vacation, the right experimental medicine, take you up out of here. They want to depopulate. You know, they caught him on TV saying that. They caught him saying that.
Right. And you see what AOC was talking about today?
No, what she was talking about?
She was saying that she wants articles of impeachment drawn up for Clarence Thomas.
For what?
Oh, they said that he was hanging out with some rich Republicans, and they paid for his trip or whatever. He took a trip with them. I don't know if it was a cruise or what he had going on. And they said that he was friends with some very rich people that were helping him out with different something or other, and they said that was be an ethical dilemma. So
we worried about. Go ahead.
No, they're trying to go at Clarence Thomas now, get him out the paint so that they can put another liberal judge in there. And they've been trying to go at Clarence Thomas for a long time now. Mm-hmm. So they want to get him out the paint, and then we're going to ignore that that the other Supreme Court justice leaked information. Right, we're just gonna sweep that under the rug that they were leaking information about the Roe versus Wade. So I guess they're gonna push for that next. It looks like that's the next move. Try to get as many conservatives out the paint as they can, and we're gonna see people clamoring for it. Right, people saying, "Oh yeah, see, no one's above the law." Meanwhile, all the things that are unjust in this world, all the situations that need to be fixed, are just gonna be swept under the rug.
Meanwhile, we don't even know who was actually on the Epstein list. Ain't nobody been questioning about that Epstein list. Y'all weren't worried about that. I haven't been. You know what I mean? Y'all worried about Clarence Thomas going on a cruise, being paid by a donor allegedly. But all of these politicians in Congress and in the White House and all this other stuff, who was on Epstein's plane and went to Epstein's island. They all get a pass, right? They all get a pass. Is that what I'm talking about?
Look, what they're gonna open up is a can of worms, though, because they're gonna get into this, right? But then you're gonna see countless times when the liberal donors, multimillionaires, multi-billionaires, gave huge amounts, took different people on trips. Yeah, Barry Soetoro went on a trip to Epstein Island, didn't he? Come on now.
Yep.
All these Clintons.
Yep.
Come on now. So what are they going to do with that information? Are they going to sit there and talk about indictments or arraignments or any of this other nonsense? Are they going to talk about investigations into this? Now look at what they said with Barry Soetoro recently. Didn't they just say that he had a $30 million a payment to his campaign? Didn't Leonardo DiCaprio put that out there?
Yep.
And then took a look at all the Hollywoods. Hollywood has a ton of money invested in the left. And they have been for years the huge donors. And look at the gift bags that those people get. Are we going to start investigating all the Rolexes and Armani and stuff like that these companies, these corporations provide to these politicians? Is that not bribes so that they don't get in trouble? So that they get swept aside? Are we doing this or not? Is it rules for thee but not for me? Which way is it? AOC running around in $10,000 dresses. Where's she getting the funds for those? Was that all out of her own pocket, or do we need to check her pockets too?
Right, exactly. I know she making more than her $175,000 salary that she's supposed to make for Congress. I'm sure that she getting money from somebody.
We play like they don't get gift bags. We play like this isn't something that they do when they show up at these galas, right? Was she she was at the gala in New York? You think they didn't get? You think they wasn't eating steak and lobster and shrimp? Who paid for that? AOC.
Right.
You so worried about other people's pockets, and you so worried about the homeless and the poor. It's all just your mouth, your lips flapping because you're not doing anything for these people out here.
Not a damn thing.
Theatrics.
That's all it is. But you coming after Clarence Thomas. Y'all don't like Clarence Thomas because Clarence Thomas is about the Constitution. You know what I mean? Period, full stop. He not with y'all agenda. That's why they was talking about packing the courts. You know what I mean? Until they got backlash, so we're talking about packing courts. They still want
exactly what time they were on. They said they wanted to pack these courts.
Mm-hmm.
When the rules don't go their way, they want to pack the courts. When something didn't go their way, they want to have their own people put into it. It's not.
Right.
I just don't understand how we're looking at this spectrum of people hitting social media and big up in the police departments and big up in these groups and stuff like that you just said last summer were on your neck and on your head. You just said defund them. Now you're saying keep them funded. Donnie T just said maybe we should start defunding some of these groups like we knew he would. We all knew he was about to say this once they got on his head, once they put that boot on his neck, right? We knew he was going to say, look at these groups and how they've been mismanaging their power. Right. But you don't understand that it's a two-way street. You've been saying for years how you don't want this world to be like a Handmaid's Tale, but yet you're over here saluting the Franklin Beverly Institute, saluting Charlie Indigo Alpha, and saying let's keep funding them some more money and see what else they can pull. You forgot about the crack epidemic? You forgot about Ronald Reagan in these streets? You want another Reagan in office pushing more stuff, pushing fentanyl in these streets? You under the guise of say no to drugs, but he's got undercovers out here flooding your block? That's what you want? Make it make sense, people.
Make it make sense. You're right, though. You know, and that's just how finicky people are, right? That's how wishy-washy people are. You know what I mean? I said it in HJ's or in the chat on the stream when he was talking to Pearly yesterday, right?
Oh yeah, what you think about that?
He was being the male wrangler strikes again because he was losing her. And then the male wrangler came out and he wrangled her back in because she was like, I know, like
she was acting like she was in a deposition, wasn't she?
Yeah,
she was like, the answer is no. The answer is yes. I was like, dang, what the heck is this, an interview or a deposition?
Now, I think she came into it thinking it was a gotcha interview. I think that's how she came into it. Now, I jumped in like 40 minutes later because I was getting my Pennsylvania carry permit, so I was in the court in the building. But when I jumped in and I was listening, I was like, yo, she sounded like she over it already. I was like, I was like, did she come into this thing and it was a gotcha thing? You know, and then you got HJ up there looking like Whoopi Goldberg, acting like Dr. Phil, right? So I'm sitting there laughing, and I could see that HJ could see that he's losing her. So then here come the male wrangler, and I was calling him Hotep Roy Rogers because his ass was on that horse with that lasso, and he threw that motherfucker, and he got her. He reeled her ass back in, and she was all right after that. But, I mean, I think it was good for her. I think that she might have learned a lot, right? That you don't got to be staunchly one way. I think that's what HJ was trying to tell her. Yeah. Be unapologetic, be ungovernable, and don't be beholden to, you know, your audience and you know, talking points of a group that you agree with.
Right, because she came off skittish about what her lane was. Like she didn't want anyone to say that her lane was one way or another. And then I guess so what is her audience predominantly black? Because I've never seen her a day in my life.
This is what I've seen her in shorts and stuff, and I'm like, okay, I kind of like what she's talking. Now the reason I like what she's talking is because a lot of the shit she's talking about, the black community, as far as black men go through, right? So like and I ain't saying white people don't go through it, but I say black people because I'm in Baltimore and I see it with my friends and shit like that. Let's say, for example, right, I got a homie. He got twin boys. Took care of these twin boys. They was with him 90% of the time. His baby mother got pissed that he did not want to be with her. She went down to Harford Road, I call it, to the all-purpose spot, and put him on papers. Mm-hmm. He had to pay $1,300 a month. He just about to get off of child support. And he was taking care of the kid. They still gave her money. They still gave her child support. And then when these kids turn 16 years old and she can't control them, what she want to do? Here, they're your problem. But you wanted to keep them out of his life. You wanted to keep him out of their lives because you want to be a spiteful bitch. Now because you can't control your two 16-year-old 6'1" sons, now all of a sudden you want their father to come in and take over, where it's hard to do because now they don't have no respect for him because you kept them and you poisoned them with the rhetoric, and now they looking at him like, yo, he ain't never won this, when that was never the case. You kept them from him. Right. So now he gotta sit there and he gotta deconstruct all of that. He gotta deprogram them and put something and instill that, yo, I love you guys, but your mother was fucking crazy and is fucking crazy. You know what I mean? Like when Pearly things be talking about certain shit like that, I'm like, okay, I see her point. I never looked at it like, you know, oh, she just trying to talk to black folks. I'm like, no, she's speaking some facts that have to do with all men. It just so happens that a lot of the divorce shit, because we do know the black household is like 75% fatherless, so a lot of that shit do kind of go to black people. It's like, yo, damn, when a dude here and a black guy here, like, yo, yeah, these bitches out here be spiteful and they be pay for play. That's what they call it. It had a term. They call it pay for play. You pay me my child support, you can see your kid. That's how this shit works.
I was just caught off. I was caught off guard by the misdirection of anger towards her that some of the chat was doing.
But that's because she had Nick Fuentes on her show. And so what? She had Nick Fuentes on her fucking show. Who cares? Half them dummies don't even know who he is. They just think he's racist because they heard he was racist, right? And she laughed at a couple of his things out of context. Now I'm not gonna go back and watch no 3-hour video. I don't give a shit about her and Nick Fuentes. You know what I mean? Right. But at the same time, to sit there and call her racist off of a couple of sound bites is bullshit, right? On top of that, like she it's, from when I watched it sounded like she's operating off of raw logic and thought.
That's
kind of how like when I do my hot takes. When I do my hot takes, guys, when y'all see my videos, like the one that I did for the one I just did about the girl saying that the 2A is racist or rooted in racism. That shit was straight off the fucking dome.
Right.
That was just raw logic and thought. I wasn't sitting there, you know, let me go to the dictionary. Let me go get my thought.
Pull up my script.
No. No. I just straight went off the dome. A lot of my hot takes, especially in the beginning, that shit was I hit play, and I just started fucking talking, and then I just edited it down because there's a lot of like, you know, uhs and ums and dead air. So I would just jump cut it for points that I made. You know, it's just raw logic and thought, and that's what I thought about her. I was like, so okay, so all right, now she has Nick Fuentes. So now y'all mad at her because she don't agree with you on one thing or a few things. Who the fuck cares?
See, this is
who cares, and that's how she should carry it. That's how she should carry it.
Oh, you're right. You hit the nail on the head just then too. How she should carry it too is see, I think because we're used to one another too, and you know, in our little community too, amongst where we're going to say something and that's our position. We stand on that position rather than standing on that bias, and we're not going to shrink like a violet either. If someone's like, I didn't agree with what Jay said. Okay, who cares? Viewer discretion. Do as you do, right? Or you didn't agree with Cannon did. But within our community, if I say something, you say something that either of us disagree with, it's not coming to fists or none of that nonsense. No, it's just okay, cool. But it's silly how the other people want to approach it in a petty manner and want to say shame on that audience for viewing. It's at the audience's discretion to view what they're going to view. We got people out here sitting here watching what Pornhub or something right now, right? It's at the discretion of whoever these people are to do whatever they're doing. We can't police everything. You can't police somebody. So that's why I was perturbed by these people sitting there saying nobody should be watching her, right? Well, it's at their discretion. If she's got a following, she's got a following. Let them, you know, they're gonna do what they're gonna do. People are gonna watch what they want to watch. If they like it, they like it.
Right. Now, Emmanuel says he sounded racist talking about being against reparations about not being knowledgeable on the topic. Now, I will agree. She was naive on the topic. Now, me, am I against reparations? Yeah, I am. And it's not because I think that people should work by your bootstraps. I'm against it because you know the damage that shit's going to do in the black community. That fucking Dave Chappelle skit's going to come true. Get them niggas $10 million in money. And then watch how fast they be in debt. Worse than the debt they was already in. You see what happened when people win the lottery, right? When black folks win the lottery, or people, I ain't say black, but people in general, when they win the lottery, they don't got nothing, and then they win like $10 million lottery, right?
Yeah.
You see them stories where they won the lottery and then they're broke again, and then they're worse off than they was before they got the money. That's what's going to happen. If you're going to have that reparations talk, you got to do like HJ said, tax exempt status.
Tax exempt status.
You know what I mean?
The entire thing about going through the business classes and then putting that out there, like you entering into an internship business wise, or you entering into these programs where they give you the tools that you need so that you can set up your own stuff independently. And I'm 100% for that version of it. But we know that that's not what it'll be pushed out by the liberals, definitely, because the Republicans have all this pushback on it, and they haven't been approaching it like HJ said, to where you say, no, the Dems must pay.
Right. And
like
what I think it was
Donnie T said, Mexico must pay.
Right. I think what it was is that, like HJ said, some of the people that she listened to, they're staunchly against reparations for whatever reason, and she just went along with that because, okay, well, conservatives are, you know what I mean?
They're worried it's coming out their pocket. They're worried it's a handout of some kind. You haven't looked at the Native American community or the Japanese community, or you're not. What about the landlords?
The landlords got their reparations. I'm about to say the same thing. The landlords got their reparations. But look when they got them though. Look at when they got them though. They didn't get them hundreds of years later.
Right. ASAP Rocky.
Right. ASAP. So the thing of what else, like, for example, right? I just think that she's young. She's 26. I didn't know she was 26. She's way fucking young. She still got a lot of learning to do. You feel me? But like with reparations, right? Like I said, that whole Dave Chappelle shit gonna come to full fruition. Like Tyler Durden said, he said, I bought this baby straight cash. They're gonna give all these black folks reparations, and then they're gonna hike the price up on everything, and they're gonna get that money right back. They're gonna go buy $1 million house. They're gonna go buy $600,000 cars, and they're gonna forget about taxes, right? Because you're gonna pay taxes on that shit at the end of the year. And once you bought all of that shit, a whole bunch of
people get locked up. That's what they got the 86,000 IRS agents for.
Look how they treated the people. Look how they treated the PPP loans.
That's what I'm saying.
Look how we treated the PPP
look, they came after all those rappers that was in the video holding up on hey, right? They came and got him. They came and got him out the paint.
Yeah. They came and got everybody because he want to put rims on the.
No, don't do that to him. You'll hurt his eye. Let him sit back down. The brothers is getting rough over there. Hold up, I gotta go take care of it.
Yeah, go take care of that. So it say in order to let me see. Okay. So it say in order to get reparations, they have to also complete a financial literacy course. That was a part of the platinum plan that Donnie T had out there, right? You know what I mean? Donnie T had it in the platinum plan, right? Oh, they shot that shit down, huh? You know what I mean? Steph says he just wants tax exempt status. Same here. The man said he want his mule too. Wabi said I can't get reparations from something that isn't over yet. Well, I need that Don DeMarco for that one. You know what I mean? But the thing about it, right, is that they just gonna get the money back. So if you're gonna talk reparation, it can't just be about money, right? If they saying like, okay, now granted, if the powers that be go, okay, we're gonna give everybody who's on their birth certificate says African American or black, we're gonna give them all, I don't know, $1 million, right? I'm gonna take that $1 million. I mean, who the fuck, shit? Just like with the student loan shit, everybody tripping over that. No, you took the loans, you should be responsible for them. Yeah, you're right. I took the loans and I should be responsible for my debt. But if you motherfuckers is gonna pay them off, go right on ahead. Go right on ahead. I ain't gonna fight you on it. I just know what the detriment to these reparations is gonna do to the black folks when they not ready for that money. Umar Johnson even said that shit. Black folks ain't ready for financial reparations yet because they don't even know they're not even financially literate. That money gonna be gone just as fast as they got it. We're gonna put us in a worse situation than we already was. However, back to the Pearly thing situation, right? I think she's a young girl that don't really like she's I think she got a good head on her shoulders. A lot of the shit that she talks as far as relationships and I'll say the mistreatment of men when it comes to children and marriage. I think she got good points. Again, she learned from Kevin Samuels. She watched a lot of Kevin Samuels shit. You know what I mean? I agree with her there. When it comes to politics, she's 26 and she just don't know it. She said that, hey, I don't know enough about it. Now as far as her thing is reparations is like, she heard that same talking point where people was like, well, why would you give somebody money who didn't have shit to do with what happened, 400 years ago? They didn't have shit to do with slavery. They wasn't no slave, shit like that. She heard that, and that's a logical point. However, that's all she knows about it. You know what I mean? That's all she knows about it. Thing about it is, I'm like, look, my thing is, am I against reparations? No, I'm not against reparations. It depends on the form of reparations we get. Should we get financial compensation, money? No, I don't think so. If you're gonna give it to me, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna do what I know I need to do with it to make sure that I don't fumble the bag. But the rest of the people out here, a lot of people don't know what to do not fumble that bag. We want to go tax exempt status? Hell yeah. Let's go tax exempt status. I think everybody could use that tax exempt status. You get tax exempt status. You know how much money you would save every year just on tax exempt status? Right? Because how much do you get in your paycheck every year? You get like 30. So if you made $100,000 a year, right? Let's just say the average income, right? Let's just say 50,000. Let's just go 50,000. You might bring home what? Out of that 50,000, what you gonna bring home? Maybe $28,000 a year of your $50,000 a year, because taxes just eat that shit the fuck up. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. You bring home what, like 28,000? So imagine tax exempt status. You bring home your full paycheck. And then that money that you usually pay in taxes every year, you take that and you invest it somewhere else, or you build a business. I think that's a lot more meaningful. I think that's a lot more conducive for people than just to give them a lump sum of money and then let them go all willy-nilly with it. I'm just saying. No one said the Jewish or Native American community weren't financially literate, but look at what the Native American community got. You're right, but first off, are the Jews financially illiterate? Are the Jews financially illiterate, Emmanuel? And what did the Native Americans get? They got land. I'll take land. Fuck it. You want to give me taxes and status? Give me some land. I'll take that land.
They have the So they have.
I'll take a 40 acres. I'll take my 40 acres in a pit bull.
I'm here in Oklahoma, right? So we have a lot of casinos here, and we have a lot of smoke shops here, and those are owned by the Native American. The Native American commissions, they have their own police. They have their own police. They have ownership of this, that, and the third. They get their dental. They get this, that, and the third. And we have one group out here, and I forgot their names, but they're like the native something or other, right? And they're like they're not quite like Elizabeth Warren, but they're basically. So there's one part of this group that are native. They have native blood in them, but they're mostly all white looking. All right, and they have one section of them, and they own everything. And that group balls out of control. Free dental, free healthcare. They have nice cars, nice homes, all paid for. Healthcare, all that stuff in place. And whenever you meet them, they have a whole lot of money because their commission takes all the proceeds that they get in, and they divide and they sprinkle that up. I remember what happened with Mount Rushmore, right? That group that had that part of that parcel that was promised to them, that land that where Mount Rushmore was, they did not accept the United States of America's finances that they were going to be given for that. So they put it in a bank to be held for them. And since all that time, it's been growing and growing, and it's worth like $1 trillion something right now. And they're a small group of a small tribe, but they've yet to say that they'll accept that money. So it just will keep on compounding because they said they would rather have back the land rather than that money. I think it's up there in the billions or $1 trillion. It's somewhere like that, but they don't want it because it's not going to be the land that they said that they wanted.
Yeah, Arctic Boy says native corruption is absolutely endemic. Let me see. Hey, Emmanuel, I think you got a whole lot of points. You know what I mean? I agree. I just when I see our culture, right? And I'm not gonna say it's all black folks because it's definitely not, right? But when you got like, let's just say, I don't know, let's just look at like the majority of our culture, right? We got these grandiose ideas about, cars and jewelry and shit like that. It's hard to not think that if they was to get that lump sum of money, that they would go and waste it on some shit that don't appreciate. You know what I mean? And that they're gonna be worse off than they were. Versus like, the landlords, first the landlords got their money in the same, era as when that shit went down, if I'm not mistaken. Native Americans got their land and they got taxes and status too, right? In some way,
I believe so.
Shape, form, fashion.
Yeah, I think it goes through the tribal commissions, all the stuff. They also have it.
Land. Go ahead.
I was going to say they also have exemption from when Obamacare was on. They had an automatic exemption. They just had to show their tribal card that they didn't want the Obamacare, so they didn't have to be fined or anything for that. That's what they call they have what's called an evergreen status. Have you heard that before? The evergreens.
Yeah, I did hear about that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, then like in that song when they say our love is evergreen. If you get that evergreen status, then you don't have to worry about certain things. You can have like some of your disabilities, your dehydrated food, different things can come for you that you can apply to, that you'd be able to get into.
I mean, I get what you're saying, man. Emmanuel says if we keep kicking the can until everyone in the community is financially literate, then this is always going to be a dangling carrot. Oh yeah, whether we're financially literate or not, it's always going to be a dangling carrot. Period. Full stop. And I don't agree. I don't disagree with you. Like I said, if they really had a serious talk about reparations today, and they said, hey, we're going to give everybody $1 million, right? All descendants of slaves, $1 million. Thank you. I'm gonna take it, right? And I'd be happy for everybody that got it. However, I'll be like, I hope you make the right decisions with this money. Because for one, if they give us $1 million each, best believe they got a plan to get that shit back from us. Best believe they got a
that's
way
what
to
goes
get that
through.
shit right back from us. Like remember.
It's like the monkey paw?
Yeah, they gonna Indian give pardon the pun, Indian give that shit right back. So like, which I just found out where that came from, by the way. But think about what Joe Biden did, right? He gave was it like a year ago, last tax season, where he gave child tax credit, right? He gave everybody their child tax credit throughout the year. But then what did he turn around and do? The people that took that child tax credit throughout the year, it got counted as income. And they had to pay taxes on that child tax credit that he gave throughout the year. Right? So like I said, like I'm not against it at all. You know what I mean? I'm not against it at all. They just gave Ukraine a ton of money. They gave Ukraine so much money, they could have paid us reparations. They could have paid reparations with all that money they gave Ukraine right now. That's how they don't give a shit about us, and they're not going to be serious about that conversation. However, I'm not saying I'm against reparations. I think that is a better way to go about it. Like I said, land or tax exempt status, or both. Well, they're too busy mortgaging our land away to China. They're too busy giving all of our money away to the Ukraine. I don't give a shit about us, huh?
I would be interested to see it go down, though, kind of, just to see what would happen next. And then a whole nother can of worms will be open too, because we'd be also asking. But I'm talking about the cash payment system, because I'm for reparations, of course, but I'm for more like what HJ was saying, and the school of finance, the ability to have tax exempt status, the ability to do some of the things that we see that are successful within these tribal communities that are using theirs, and what we've also seen as being successful for the landlords. So I think that it could be implemented in a way that would be beneficial for everyone, and that's the way I would like to see that done. But we know that it wouldn't be carried out that way likely, though, right? So
No.
in a cash payment system, though, would it be just that one-time payment? Because then, is that it? Is it okay? So you get $1 million, and then that's done. We washing the hands of it, and that's it, or what?
I think that's how they would treat it. I think they would treat it as a one-time payment. Here you go,
one and done.
Just to shut people up, yeah. And then when you ain't got no money no more, you just it's a wrap. Oh, by the way, here go a convenience fee tax. Here go this new special tax that we got to go do this here. So that $1 million that they just gave you, you probably gonna get about, I don't know. Let's say they take 30% of that money. They give you $1 million and they take 30% of that $1 million. What you left with? Like 700 grand of it? You know what I mean? And then they do a capital gains tax on top of that. Like I said, they're gonna figure out how to get that.
They're gonna get it back. You see, he's talking about they gonna be getting it out the taxes one way or another too, huh?
Right.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
Versus, like, hey, Emmanuel, real quick, right? You know, so like this, Emmanuel, what would be more valuable, a lump sum or a tax exempt status, right? Let's just say right now, tomorrow. He said, starting January 1st, 2024, we're giving tax exempt status to all African American citizens of the United States, right? Natural born African American citizens of the United States, whatever, right? Let's just say, like I said, you make $50,000 a year. You bring home like 28 of that, but tax exempt status gives you the rest of that money back, right? You know, let me see. Anyway, so like I was saying, I think that tax exempt status, we would get more money over our lifetime than we would with that one lump sum. You know what I mean? Which will still allow us to start those businesses, right? It'll still allow us to start those businesses and all that other stuff. That's just me. They ain't gonna do no one lump sum and then give us tax exempt status. That shit ain't happening. They don't give a fuck enough about us for that.
I mean, it's not like we look at the the boule, right? The boule, your people, your high-powered people, not just your entertainers like Will Smith or Eddie Murphy and all them, but your business owners, your business class, your doctorates, your degrees, all of these organizations, we're looking at billions of dollars, right? And where has that funding gone to create a bigger economic branch that could really be implemented? Because I don't really see that in action, really. I see a lot of
pockets of the politicians.
Right, I see a lot of people just keeping it in their pocket, or just following the coattails of your Joe Nicholslicks and the like of them, right? You get these people set up in the position, and then they just follow the key order or the key structure that's been put in place, and that's a stranglehold in and of itself, because we want to see economic opportunities for everybody. I want to see everybody thrive. I know that's a Hotep mindset, though. We want to see to each his own, self-reliance, and everybody should be able to have their place, not at the table, but have their own table. You feel me? It's like when we look back at baseball, we see Jackie Robinson. What did he do? He left. When he left the league, when he left the Negro League, what happened? It started to fall apart. All that money went out the door, and so they lost out on the opportunity of having the Black Ballers League, which in today's dollars would be trillions of dollars. If we went to a baseball game that was the Black Ballers League, and there you got to see Ronald Acuna and all these other players play, that would have generated long-term financial gains for the Black community overall.
But they came and they infiltrated and they shut that shit the fuck down.
And Robinson, who was it? Robinson and Aaron and Clemente and them people were the first people to leave over there to do it. And Mays, they left, and that left all the businesses. So you had entire Black Wall Street communities being set up around those stadiums where you could go get your hair cut. You could go, and they were Black owned, right?
Yep.
Black owned hotels, Black owned barbershops, Black owned businesses such as it's the barbecue pits, all the barbecue locations, all the spots where they were selling jerseys, the hats, everything. Everyone was making money. When Robinson and Mays and Aaron dipped out to the white-run MLB, what happened to those communities? Right. All that went bloop, and all the boule that people that was over there, all the people that were upper class, they all left out to the big cities, branched out, and all those places fell apart instantly. Well, yeah, it was pretty bad economically. So I would love to see what Emmanuel's talking about in place in some way.
No, but that's the thing, right? So I admire Emmanuel right now, right? So I admire Emmanuel. Emmanuel has faith in the community that they're going to, majority of people are going to do right by their families with the money, right? Now, this is what I will say, and I agree with Emmanuel. Like, I'm not against reparations whatsoever. Period. Full stop. I'm just afraid of how, and it's not because the white man instilled it in us that we don't know how to handle our own money, which Emmanuel has a point, when he says that, and for the most part, or in some cases. But I guess we want to go about it different, right? Now, I'm like, okay, if you're gonna give out a lump sum, go for it. And whoever does right by that money, or does the financially responsible, fiscally responsible thing with that money, more power to you. Whoever doesn't, more power to you. I'm just looking at, how to grow that generational wealth, which I think would be, that tax exempt status and land. That's just me. I think that me and Emmanuel, we agree that reparations, we're not against it, but it's just how we would go about it. It's how we would go about, implementing it. I think that's all it is. It's how we would implement and how we would go about paying reparations out. I think that's where we kind of have not a full disagreement, because I'm not against the lump sum, but I also think there's a better way than doing a lump sum, right? Just because I've seen how I see how they did with the PPP shit, right? I see how people treat when they win the lottery. I know somebody that won $6 million in the lottery. Broke. There was a lady, her lady lived next door to me, right? Miss Betty. Her son's baby mother won $6 million, son. 6 mil. Balled out. Was broken like 5 years. Emmanuel says, I think reparations are a legal debt owed to the descendants of American slavery for the work of our forefathers. Did we have one last check? Did we have one last check to pick up? I can't argue with you. Emmanuel. I can't argue with you on that, right? And then people go, well, how does the government know if you were a descendant? Who the fuck cares how the government knows if you're a descendant? If somebody else get $1 million check because the government fucked up, okay, the government fucked up.
It's not like they were spending $1 billion on a what was it, a toilet plunger, and another $1 billion on a toilet.
Shit, that's how it is, But you're right also, man, it's a political football, we can't keep fumbling. You're right. But the thing is, it's always going to be a dangled carrot. Every election cycle is going to be, because come on, it's coming up in 2024, right? It's coming up in those elections for 2024. They're going to talk reparations, and nobody's ever serious about doing it. Remember Obama said Obama passed on a law for reparations. No, he wasn't. They passed a law saying that they would think about talking about the shit.
And what was it? House Resolution 40 or 42? What was it? 40 House Resolution 40 for the 40 acres of the mule, right? 40 days and 40 nights.
Yeah, you know, I agree. I mean, like I said, man, you make great points, bro. You know, why not? Everybody else got theirs. Everybody else got their shit. Like I said, the landlords got theirs. Native Americans got theirs. You know what I mean? I'm sure some other groups that got, you know, they shit, and we still holding the bag. You know, I'm not against it.
Yeah.
You know, just like I said, you know, the school, the loan forgiveness for student loans.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah, I know that I made that decision to have my student loans. I know that, and I'm willing to pay for that. Right. Now, luckily, I don't have to because I was in a class action joint. I ain't got to pay that shit no more. But you know, I was willing to pay that $500 a month. But if the government came out today and said, "Hey, we forgave all the student loans," I ain't gonna be mad. Thank you. You know what I mean? So, what's that, YB? YB says, I descended from a Scottish Pocahontas story. Would you Pocahontas' great-great-great-grandson or something? But yeah, you know, but it's like I said, hey, I'm not against reparations. I just think that there's a more conducive way to do it other than just a lump sum of cash, you know. But if they give us a lump sum of cash, I'll take it, you know, because at the end of the day, right, Jay, I can't be worried about what other people do with their money. I can't be pocket watching everybody else. If somebody else want to go out there and get a, you know, a $5 million house or,
right,
you know, and 3 Lamborghinis,
right? Who are you to say? It's their money. It's their money.
Idea.
It's like when they get onto Trump about how he gave out whatever $15,000 worth of something. How come he didn't give out $1 billion worth? How much did you give? It's not your money. Stop pocket watching people. At least he gave something. Right. Don't worry about it. Keep it pushing. Everyone wants to see everyone else's wallet. It's ridiculous.
He got a point though. Emmanuel got a point. He said, "I'm trying to take Africa to the UN for reparations because them niggas is guilty too."
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? While we at it, let's
they must pay.
Let's go get that reparation from Big Pharma too, because they done. How many people they done genocided in the past 3 years? You know, I'm trying to get one. I'm trying to get one of them Peter T. Nickel checks. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. If you took the Pfizer or Moderna vacation between the years of 2020 and 2023, you too could be compensation.
How did they pay out the Tuskegee? How did they pay out the Tuskegee people? Did they ever get some payment for that?
I don't know. Somebody told me in the chat. I don't think they ever got paid for that. Yo. I think that shit was just charged to the game type shit.
Was it just charged to the game? We gave you syphilis. You did. Oh well. It was because it was wards of the government. You know what I mean? So you know that's how they seen it. You know that they were wards of the government. So like the dude even said it a couple years ago. He said that when you're in the U.S. Army, you belong to the U.S. Army. He said that shit like a couple years ago. I gotta find it. I'm pretty sure I screenshotted that shit. They called it the Public Health Service Research Facility or something like that. And I don't know if because whenever the Charlie Indigo Alpha, whenever they were doing the MK Ultra joint, and they murdered one of the agents, right? They beat him over the head and threw him out a window. His family got compensated $1 million after they went to sue for it, though. That was back in 1970 something.
Yeah, Emmanuel said that he think they just got a public apology. I think that's right. I think they only got a
public apology. What's that gonna do?
Yeah, I'm dead serious. He says Volkswagen, Johnson & Johnson. Y'all niggas got paid too. I don't blame you, bro. J.R. Bell says, Cannon, that commercial is definitely coming out in 2028. Bro, it's coming. That Peter T. Nickel commercial is coming. You know what I mean? Watch. you two could be eligible for compensation. I'm telling you, it's all coming, bro. All I know is this, right? Back to we got.
Oh, it says.
Back to.
I know we did. It says that they got paid $10 million in 1973. A case was finally settled, and the
Really?
U.S. government lifetime medical benefits and burial services to all living participants. So I don't know what.
I never heard that.
Yeah, I don't know what they.
I never heard that.
We'll have to deep dive into that sometime. But let's get back on track.
Yeah.
What was it? What was it?
Sauce says, "Have you or your loved one?" Yeah, that's exactly how we start off. Have you or your loved one? So no, back to Pearly things, right? I just think she got a bad rap for having Nick Fuentes on, and that shit just snowballed. I think she had that bad rap, and then everybody found out where her political leanings were, and they immediately just associated her with racists, right? When it's all said and done, when you really look at it, all it was is that black dudes fell for their kryptonite. A redheaded white woman. A redheaded white woman. They saw a redheaded white woman speaking on their behalf, or what they thought was speaking on their behalf, and they gravitated to her. Right? That's all that was. And then that's where her audience came from. And then when she had that Nick Fuentes on, they was like, wait a minute. Right? And then all of a sudden they ain't rock with her. You know, that's just how it is. And you know what I blame? I blame reality TV. I blame reality TV. I'm just saying. Reality TV made people like that. They just want drama. You don't like her because she has somebody that you disagree with on. Me, I don't know. I don't know enough about Nick Fuentes to pass judgment on him. I heard what they said he said, you know. But then I also hear I heard a couple of things he said, and I'm like, it's either y'all don't. I don't know. I don't know enough about him. Like, either he said some real fucked up shit, which I don't like. But I heard what he said, I'm like, you know. And then, you know, or it's just because y'all don't want a white dude putting you on Front Street. I don't know. But would I deplatform, or would I not have? If Nick Fuentes DM me right now and said, Canon Hotep, can I come on your show and I want to discuss, I don't know, the Second Amendment with you? All right. And me personally, if people got a problem with me having Nick Fuentes on, fuck them. I don't care.
Yeah.
If he say some shit I disagree with, I'll check him.
Yeah, I heard that.
This is how it is.
It was P-Dog Knight had on Rakita Law, right? And there was some people in his chat that were upset about that.
Why? Because P-Dog Knight had on Rakita Law? Or because
I don't
really?
I don't understand how you can be mad at the interviewee situation when you're talking to someone else, and then, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna be like, now I'm mad at you for talking to that person or for having them on.
Right.
That just gives you and your audience the insight. Right. That's what I'm gonna say. You can find middle ground
with that guy.
Right. You can have insight, and you give your audience insight, but then you give yourself insight and them insight into some of your positions and some of your feelings on thoughts and topics, and so that gives you a better perspective, I feel like, you know. So I enjoy seeing that kind of debate.
Saul says not only that, but she's 6'2". Niggas love themselves a tall glass of milk. YB gonna say she ain't nothing but a tall glass half full. Emmanuel gonna say, told you she looked like the Game of Thrones pod. Y'all like Pearly? Y'all think she attractive?
That
Does your heart randomly skip beats? You may be entitled to settlement with a call. 1-800 my heart.
that $10 million that was given out, that was so nonsensical, because half them people were already dead. It was the 300 something people from Tuskegee, and most of them were already dead. So when they did the 10 million, that was just for them to, whoever was still alive, you know, would be in their 80s and 90s and all that junk, to go to the doctor, for all the system. They didn't help them none.
Oh, so they didn't give them no money. They just
ain't giving no financial. Right. They were just like, oh, you still alive? Still? Okay, well, you can come to the doctor.
We got some grant money here.
Come to the doctor and get your checkup for your bad back and all your sick symptoms that we hooked you up with, and you'll be good to go. That's garbage.
Here the VA benefits we owe you.
Yeah. You did them people dirty.
I mean, Pearly, I don't know. I mean, she I don't know. She like that girl from that 70s show a little bit. And even Donna on that 70s show was a little more attractive than Pearly. I'm not saying Pearly a bad looking girl, but I don't know. I guess a 7.
So we have
I'll give her a 6.5, 7.
So
I'm pretty sure she put a little makeup on, got her hair done. You know, she in good shape. She run marathons apparently.
Is that right?
You know.
We having Pearly on? Is that what we doing, Kaden? We're sending the invite.
YB said, hell no, I live in North Texas. She a smooth 7. Mayo said they gave him the money to see the doctors who gave him the shit. Exactly.
That's trash. That's really trash. Just a slap in the face.
I don't know.
Plus an apology.
I heard of Pearly things through like YouTube shorts.
I never knew.
And I agree with some of the shit I heard from her. And I was like, all right, cool.
Oh yeah.
Why we say, hey now Donna was bad.
You know Team Rob? Did you ever listen to Team Rob on YouTube?
No, who's that?
Oh, he's more of a separatist type character. Team Rob is who I started watching a long time ago, back when he was in his kitchen and stuff like that. I used to watch that, but all the new characters that come out here, I don't really know them. You know, I knew of Kevin Samuels, and I knew of Team Rob, and I knew of a couple other characters. But like when we talk about Pearly and say Nick Fuentes or whatever, I don't really know them characters really. But you know,
yeah, I mean, I don't put too much.
But to each their own. Right,
yeah,
like to each their own. I don't sit there like some of these characters are worried all up in arms about it. Like, oh, you talking to them? Oh, you watch their video? You can't do that and this and that and the third. It's like, mind your business. What does it have to do with anything?
K-Stacks, there you go, K. We needed you in the last conversation, K. Anyway, K-Stacks in the building says Pearly pulled an Amber Heard last night. Did she for real? Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, my gosh. You never found that 70s show funny? I like that 70s show. I thought it was good. Now, I ain't even try to watch the new one. I ain't even try to watch, what's it called, the 90s show or some shit?
Yeah.
I ain't even try to watch that shit.
Or whatever. I don't know.
The man said she's having a good day.
That's rough.
I ain't got nothing against her. I just think that she speaks with raw thought and logic. And she gives, as far as when she's talking about the struggles of men when it comes to women, I think she has points. Politically, I wouldn't give any weight, you know, to her politically. You know what I mean? That's just how it is. If I heard her speak her political view, I'd say, okay, well, that's just her view. Now you got these really sensitive people out here. They're like, oh my God, I can't believe she said it. Wow, so you mad at her because she don't agree with everything that you agree with. So she agree with you when it comes to shitty women. So you love her for that. But then when she politically disagree with you, all of a sudden it's scorched earth. You know what I mean? It's just dumb. It's just the world we live in, guys. You know what I mean? It's these unrealistic expectations that people put on everybody. Simple as that. They think everybody that you talk to or you deal with or you date, they all supposed to have the ideological views that you have. And that's not the case. That's not the case. Not everybody's going to agree. Like me and Emmanuel just went back and forth about reparations. Emmanuel ain't about to fucking march off the goddamn show. You know, we still got common ground, you know. We still got common ground. We still, you know, it's just a debate.
I'm never coming back again.
Right. You know, he ain't typing unsubscribe. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's just that it's dumb. Like, you know, I could have told Emmanuel to get the fuck out of my chat when he told me Moonfall was a bad show. How can you say Moonfall's a bad movie? Moonfall's a fantastic movie, goddammit. I'm just saying, right? You know, I'm just saying, but we all got.
Emmanuel said he
different
likes Friends.
Friends is the shit. I used to sit home and watch Friends all the time, even though Friends stole that idea from Living Single.
Now, Living Single was funny.
Know that.
Living Single, at least Living Single made me laugh.
Friends stole their idea from Living Single.
Friends,
He's
garbage.
gonna say, "How dare you?" in his Greta voice. Living Single was the shit. I still be watching.
Yeah.
Shit, I'm on the final season of Rock right now. Shit. I like the old shows. Old shows.
What was you watching right now?
Rock? I'm watching the third season of Rock. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was classic.
Old
Baltimore.
The
Baltimore stuff going on. I watched all of the Rock, and I watched I like all those different programs. My program I go to will follow the Coaching Fair. The
King of the Hill is a classic.
I like all those. I like most of those '90s. Those '90s sitcom stuff, and then some of that old school 1950s shows like Leave It to Beaver and stuff like that. I mean, there's stuff I find humor in, but like a lot of the new stuff I find to be too corny. Like if I sit there and look at it, I'm like, yeah, they trying to be funny, but it's not really funny though.
What was unwatchable?
They're trying too hard. Who?
Emmanuel says King of the Hill was unwatchable. What was unwatchable, which I know King of the Hill was kind of a spinoff. I could not watch Beavis and Butthead, y'all. I could not watch Beavis and Butthead. I just couldn't do it.
It's hard for me to get through it sometimes. I knew some little kids, when I was growing up, the little kids that liked it, and they were into it real big, and I was just like, okay. It wasn't my thing.
I just couldn't do it. People used to love Beavis and Butthead. I just couldn't do it. You know what I mean? You gonna take the gulag over King of the Hill and Moonfall? God damn. You gonna say Cash and set up the Chuck?
What? King of the Hill had some funny episodes though, didn't it?
That's what I think.
I feel like some King of the Hill had a couple of them fun little episodes. I thought.
I appreciate you, Kay, coming through. She says, "Love y'all. I gotta get back to doing neurology things." Hotep. Hey, Kay, are you coming to Hotep Con? If you is, use my promo code Cannon, 10% off for your tickets. Head to hotepnation.com. Hit that Hotep Con tab and get y'all tickets today. Anyway, I gotta get back to the grind. What time is it? Yeah, I definitely gotta get back to the grind. I gotta head to North Carolina tomorrow. I'm going down there for a wedding. So yeah, it's a hell of a drive, and I know my wife ain't gonna help me drive. So I may do the work drift live from the road, as long as my 5G or whatever it is stay connected. God damn it, just saying. But what is this? Cotton didn't lose his shins in WW2 for it to be unwashable. Shit. Oh, I'm definitely getting me some cheer wine and some North Carolina barbecue. Definitely. Anyway, all right, guys, let me get out of here. I appreciate it. Jay, I appreciate you hanging with me, bro. I know you gotta get back to the babies. We sound like they over there tearing it up.
You know it. Once you're trying to get him to go out, trying to get him to go to the front play. They're trying to wrestle and stuff earlier.
But hey, guys, appreciate you guys rolling with me. If you need, hit the like, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification icon, it'll let you know when I got new content coming out. Please share the stream, let people know we were live. Catching the replay, leave a comment. Let me know how I'm doing. If you want to donate to the channel, $Cannon Hotep on Cash App. That's $Cannon Hotep on Cash App. Every little bit goes back into the channel. Anyway, until next time, for Jay Powell on this Cannon Hotep saying, be safe, stay strapped. Don't miss. Go see Super Mario, y'all. It was fun.